Matt Gaetz continues his battle against Kevin McCarthy. Of course, Matt Gaetz is one of the loudest individuals within the Republican caucus who speaking out against Kevin McCarthy to be Speaker and is saying, I'm not going to support him for Speaker, and other people I know aren't as well, enough people to prevent Kevin McCarthy from becoming the Speaker of the House. And so it's kind of this House Freedom Caucus, more radical part of the Republican Party that is apparently in line to block Kevin McCarthy's rise to the speakership. But I have more on this. Matt Gaetz appeared with Steve Bannon and addressed this topic.
When someone says, I'll never leave, it isn't exactly the battle cry of an inspirational leader. It sounds more like someone who can't accept a breakup. But in the case of Kevin McCarthy and the Republican conference, this is no fault divorce. There were things that Kevin McCarthy did to erode the trust of the members he needs to vote for him if he wants to be Speaker. He lost virtually every fiscal fight. There's a great Horowitz piece in The Blaze that details that. On the southern border, he never pushed for a bill that didn't include some feature of amnesty or a pathway to citizenship. And on the weaponization of this government against our people, Kevin McCarthy sat silent with his hands folded as Paul Ryan and Trey Gowdy blocked every request that Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows and Andy Biggs and Ron DeSantis and I made when we caught Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and Andy McCabe and Jim Baker.
Okay, we'll stop it there. But he's not exactly making or giving any indication that this is unserious. And so for me, it's interesting because if Matt Gaetz continues to do this and on the day of the vote can hold the amount of votes to vote against Kevin McCarthy that he says he has, then we could have a situation where Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat, could become Speaker of the House instead. You have to unite your caucus whenever your majority is this thin. And it looks like so far Kevin McCarthy has not been able to do that. And one of the things that's interesting, and then we'll get to one more clip of Matt Gaetz in a second here, is it's not like Matt Gaetz is making demands. It's not like somebody, Andy Biggs, I think, is another one of the guys speaking out against Kevin McCarthy. It's not like they're saying, we want you to commit to this investigation, this policy being pushed for, these committees for us. It's just a general, we don't want you, we need to find somebody else. And so that's what gives me hope that maybe it actually will go forward and prevent Kevin McCarthy from becoming Speaker, not because I want someone even more radical than Kevin McCarthy, which Matt Gaetz would choose, but instead, because they're not going to get the entire caucus to go behind someone more radical, instead get them to be so divided that on the day of the vote, they can't unite around one candidate, and Hakeem Jeffries could get the proper amount of votes to become the Speaker. That would be wild. Here's another moment with Charlie Kirk, where Matt Gaetz continues to go on this tirade.
Are you at least open to voting for Kevin for Speaker?
Well, I have yet to see any deal that doesn't require some element of trust to bind it together. And since I don't trust Kevin McCarthy, that's why I am not voting for him. Now, if somehow someone can bind some deal together that is not in any way reliant on trust, I'm always open-minded, but right now I'm not going to vote for Kevin.
Open-minded is good. So, Matt, we got to make sure the House stays Republican. That's
I'm not voting for
Are you at least open?
I don't know if he was ending with, I'm not voting for him, but Charlie Kirk is recognizing what I'm saying, but from the opposite angle, where Charlie Kirk doesn't want the Democrats to end up having the speakership position and is trying to encourage Matt Gaetz, of course, to at least at the end of the day commit to going along with Kevin McCarthy if they can get some sort of deal. But I like seeing this. Hopefully they'll stay divided on this front, because that would be very disastrous for the Republican Party.